Let's move over to the Los Angeles Clippers. They were booted from the playoffs with the 104-91 Game 7 L to the Jazz. Chris Paul was not thrilled about answering questions regarding the team's plans for next year. Listen to this.
Luckily, that's not my job. You know what I mean? That's not my job. My job is to, come in, try to make sure I'm in the best shape possible, try to lead our team and stuff like that. That's not my job to maneuver who's here and who's there.
Hey, Chris, I feel obligated to at least ask, have you given any consideration to your early termination option?
No, I haven't. We just lost probably like 20 minutes ago.
All right, so still obligated to ask. Hey.
Yeah, it's obligated.
I mean, to the reporter's point, that's what everybody wants to know. Yes, it is immediately after the game, but the reporter has to do his job. Sure. In your opinion, do you think Chris is better off staying in L.A. or going elsewhere?
I think it really depends on Chris. Chris is really the only person that stands to gain more. Okay. I think there's a lot of, pretty much everybody else in this scenario stands to lose a lot. From the owner to Doc Rivers to everyone that's still under contract for 17-18 with the Clippers, which is roughly only 60% of the team. He's their best player. He's also the greatest Clipper of all time. I said it. Sorry, Danny Manning. And he's only
not
been
a lot of guys to choose from either.
He's only been there, 6 years based on an illegal interjection by David Stern. But we can't go in the past. He should be with the Lakers. But he hasn't been, and thanks to David Stern, he wants to have a statue outside the Staples Center. I don't know if they have any space. Shaq just got one.
Right.
Gretzky might go, and there's like 8 or 9 of them out there. Elgin Baylor doesn't have one, but he might. Elgin Baylor deserves a statue being with the Lakers as much as he doesn't deserve a statue for being the GM for the Clippers for 20 years. I don't know what photos he had on Donald Sterling, but he was the GM for like 20 years. He's a big reason for why they went to, before Chris Paul, 7 playoffs. Since him, 6 for 6. So I think that he is the franchise face, and he is more than just a signee. Give him the $200 million because you want him there when he's 45, 50, 55 years old. He should be an ambassador. If this isn't what he wants to do, there's going to be some head scratching because there aren't. Name me a team ready to go to an NBA Finals that doesn't have their point guard in place.
Not that many.
Really.
Not
Utah, maybe. I mean, George Hill's going to want to leave. Like, where could he go where he would get his money and he would get the same role as what he has right now with the Clippers?
There may be some teams that would be willing to put their point guard aside, that sort of thing. Maybe a Utah might be willing to put a George Hill aside.
New Orleans.
Or something
could he
like
go
that.
to New Orleans and they could win?
Yeah. Do you want to go back to a place where you've been before, go from L.A. to New Orleans, a smaller market?
He liked it there.
I don't know if you can win immediately in New Orleans. I think the thing for Chris Paul is winning. And you mentioned he's been there 6 years, hasn't been to the Western Conference Finals. To stay and get your money in L.A., can you win there? I think you've had talent. Of course, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and Doc Rivers as a coach. I think it's kind of proven he's not going to win there. I don't see this getting any better. I don't see the Warriors falling off the Spurs either. So if he wants to win, I think he might have to leave.
Do you think? I mean, Chris Paul even said that's not my job. My job is to get this team ready. Well, you fail then.
Yeah,
and you've kind of failed. You've played wonderfully. I think he is a fantastic basketball player, but they don't win.
Yeah. And a lot of people say he's very hard to get along with. That's what you hear. Very demanding. Yeah, very demanding as a teammate. He will get on your back in the heat of battle, and that could put a lot of players off. So it's an interesting offseason for the Clippers. We certainly will keep an eye on that story to see how it all